Welcome to This Just In, the show bringing you the latest advancements in healthcare, strategy, innovation, and public policy. And now, for the fastest voice in healthcare, here's your host, Justin Barnes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Just In. We're broadcasting live from HIMSS 25 from the AMD booth in sunny Las Vegas. Very excited to be here. It's already been an action-packed 72 hours since we landed. This is our second broadcast, over 3 days, 5 total shows, and over 40 guests here in Las Vegas from HIMSS 25. This is personally my 25th HIMSS annual conference and 11th year broadcasting my radio show from the HIMSS annual conference. But without further ado, I'm very excited to introduce my first guest and good friend from Peoria, Illinois, Joe Morrow, Director of Technology Services at OSF HealthCare. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
It's been a good conference. When did you get in town?
We got in yesterday.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
And what do you plan to do for the next couple of days? Just speaking and learning and.
I'm doing the learning part.
Yeah.
I'll be done with the speaking after we're done here.
Okay, awesome. I agree. I love it. So, what progress are you most excited about seeing in the industry today?
In the industry, I'm really excited about the consolidation efforts that we've got going on.
Yep.
Right. It's always a struggle for data center providers like we are.
Yep.
It's always a struggle. Everything's moving to the cloud.
Right.
But internally, we've got a lot of flexibility with what we manage in the data center. That we do a hybrid type version where we do workloads in the cloud where they're needed, but I'm super excited at some of the new technology we've got out now that lets us do more in less space for less cost. It's fantastic.
Excellent. Yeah, we did that. We did a case study with you guys, kind of partnered with Dell, AMD, and OSF, create a case study, and you had some phenomenal results. Why don't we take a second just to go through some of those highlights? You spoke right before we came on air about your results and some of your ROI, but we hit on that high note.
Absolutely. So in addition to our performance games, we went live with Epic Bergamo chip for our Epic environment. We're a fairly sizable installation, right?
Yep.
Where we turn, actually just currently we're about 31 million GREFs.
Yep.
And if you're familiar,
yes.
That's a sizable install.
It is.
But as we converted from IBM to the AMD platform, we were able to consolidate 3 racks of equipment into 3 2U servers. Fantastic. So we reduced our power, our heat and cooling, and everything's running spectacular. From a budgetary standpoint, just in the conversion, our capital cost alone was about half of what we'd forecasted if we stayed on the IBM platform.
Right.
And our maintenance cost, we were able to save, we cut about $700,000 out of our maintenance on a yearly basis, and this is locked in. We expect this platform to run for 5 years.
Yeah, no, extremely exciting. So what healthcare, kind of putting your thought leader hat on,
Sure.
What healthcare or trends are you seeing in the industry today?
So for us, it's really a shared services model that's really attractive to us. We've been doing this now I'm with OSF HealthCare, but we started a company, PointCore. PointCore was really built on the original idea of shared services because we know not every healthcare system is as robust as what we have in our staff.
Absolutely.
We work with a lot of smaller hospitals that just don't have access to the same resources we have.
Yep.
We're blessed in that aspect that we've got good talent. We're rapidly growing, so we're able to sustain where we're going. But smaller rural hospitals are challenged. A good example of that is when we started, we envisioned a model of bringing other like-minded healthcare systems together and merging our overhead departments, right? Like IT was a good example. And didn't really get a lot of traction on that other than our networking side. We partnered with a company out of Iowa, Fiber Utilities Group, and we're running our own carrier-grade fiber optic network. We've got about 1,500 miles of fiber, and what that's allowed us to do is come in and offer services to rural hospitals where we can get them connected in a safe environment. As you go in, we do work in acquisitions and other consulting, but you see some of these hospitals really don't have access. They'll have access to IT people. A geek squad doesn't know what to do in a healthcare environment, right? They probably can't spell HIPAA. But what this has allowed us to do is we can come in, provide a service to a healthcare organization, take that burden of maintaining IT, especially in our cybersecurity threat area.
Absolutely.
And allow them to do healthcare and we can take care of the rest. We've expanded that now from IT to supply chain services, to facilities, and we even do construction. So we're building our own hospitals, we're building hospitals for other people. Yeah. It's an exciting time to be a part of what we're doing.
Yeah, and you kind of answered my next question on, what are some best practices that you would share, how to help people navigate those trends. And so you guys obviously created Point Core,
yep.
Offering those shared services out. We actually had another show this morning, and had AWS on and talking about what they're doing in a lot of rural communities, because we can't, those systems, if they're not redundant, if they're not managed in the type of environment that you're talking about, that might be the only care that they have in that community. It may be 100 miles without a care center. That is the only one. So those systems can't go down. They need to have the right strategy.
Absolutely.
So I think that's exactly what you bring without even realizing all that. But so expand upon that. So you talk about your strategy from Point Core and some other trends that or best practices to navigate those trends.
Sure. Okay. So as we look, IT itself, healthcare IT is different than the rest of IT, right?
Yeah.
Anytime we interview somebody that comes in for a position, they work at an engineering company, whatever you do. Caterpillar is large in Peoria, as you know.
Yep.
And everybody thinks mission critical at Caterpillar is when the line stops. Well, you know what? You just don't build a tractor that day, right?
Right.
In healthcare,
yeah,
every minute of every day, we've got a patient under our care.
Right.
We service over 1 million patients just in our service area alone.
Yeah.
And downtime can't happen. So everything we do is based upon layers of redundancy, not only in our technical areas, but in our processes. So when we can come in and do the same IT as somebody else, but help to educate on the processes and everything that goes around it to ensure you can deliver critical care when it's needed, and that's really the value and where I see focus needs to be placed.
Absolutely. Exciting. Again, more putting the thought leader hat on here. What do you see as a key strategy or trend that we need to be ready to navigate in 2 to 3 years from now?
2 or 3 years. The challenge is going to be AI, right?
Yeah.
You can't swing a cat in here without hitting an AI booth, right?
Swing a cat. That's a great analogy. I like that. Let's keep going down. That's good. Yeah, you're right.
But and it's using it responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
AI's got its place, and there's some super exciting areas out there now. We're in a partnership now with Epic to build out DAX, the ambient ordering portion.
Excellent.
And that, if you've been to a clinician recently, you pretty much know the side of their head because they're sitting on a computer typing into their screens, right? Yep. They want to make sure that they've got your medical record complete.
Mm-hmm.
When you can introduce AI in an interesting way, so a doctor can have a conversation with you, and all of the information is captured. It's a transformative in healthcare, right? Being able to mine the data out of that conversation. And then what we're trying to do with Epic is to take that to the next level and be able to introduce ordering and really move that needle on providing care without having to do all the manual pieces.
Excellent.
Spectacular.
Excellent. So what do you hope to accomplish over the next couple of days here at HIMSS 25?
It's a perfect opportunity for us. We're located in Peoria.
Yep.
There aren't that many technology companies around, right?
Yep.
We're all connected, but this is a good chance to get face-to-face.
Yep.
Learn more from different emerging technologies and really kind of solidify our relationships. I didn't mention it before, but a key portion, we invest a lot in our strategies. And when we take partnerships very seriously. The biggest challenge we have now is venture capitalist is a really evil word, right?
Right. No.
But where it hits us is we're making an investment in a technology and a process, and that it takes a long time to move the ship in a certain direction.
Right.
And when the landscape changes, because we've invested in perpetual licensing and we're doing maintenance, and it's switched to a subscription model with additional services that we don't need, reimbursables in healthcare are very tight. There are organizations that have for-profit, they do surgeries all the time, and that's a gravy train, right?
Right.
But for those of us at our at critical care facilities that service general populations,
you got it.
We are a Catholic not-for-profit, so we are a destination center. Every penny counts, and putting more money into a software company's bottom line doesn't necessarily relate to the best care for our patients. So we're really reevaluating our strategies to make sure that we're removing the potential areas where we can get left behind.
Yep.
Right? You see it in the headlines. Every company's getting bought. They're turning up to subscriptions, and there just isn't more money to come from healthcare.
Right.
Yeah.
So spend 1 second. We got a minute or so left.
Sure.
Talk about, you have a nun that sits on your board, correct? Is it, you have a sister?
Oh, yeah,
nun?
we've the sisters.
Sisters.
Yep, sisters. Yes.
So talk about that for a second. I was very impressed walking around your facility, seeing all the great signs and the verses, the Bible verses on the walls, and I love that. Talk about that.
So that's the best part.
Yes.
Is I came
Amen.
to healthcare about 12 years ago. I've serviced all different industries, and every company I've been in has been either sold off or acquired by somebody else.
Yep.
And those were all functions to make somebody money, make somebody rich.
Right.
I chose to come to OSF. Sister Judith Ann was our chairman of the board, but she's now stepped aside a bit. But she believes everybody has a calling to come to OSF. And the best thing is, every decision we make is based on, is it right for the patient? Is it good for our communities?
Right.
We've taken over a hospital when they closed in a rural community. The sisters knew that we needed to provide care in that area. Exactly. Otherwise, everybody would have to travel an hour.
That's right.
We agreed to come in. We evaluated the facility and what services need to be cared. And we lobbied the state of Illinois to stand up a freestanding emergency department to allow for care in the community to be able to escalate out.
Yep.
And I don't know if you know, in small towns, right? All small towns used to have factories, schools, hospitals, car dealers. Yep. When the factories pull out, the only employees you have left are healthcare systems and schools.
Yep.
And these communities cannot survive without their healthcare system.
Right.
So what we're doing with Point Core is in line with the Sisters' mission to provide care for, to improve the quality of life for the communities that we serve. And it's amazing.
Extremely rewarding. Thank you very much, Joe. Joe Morrow, OSF HealthCare. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Always great to see you. Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you.